Good morning students. Today going to discuss about thin lens. Okay. A lens is formed by the transparent material bounded between two spherical surface or one plane to another spherical surface. Okay. So in a thin lens, the distance between means the two surface, the spherical two surface, the two spherical surface. The distance between is very small. You are taking to the or lens means the two lens you are taking means that that in between distance is a very small only. Okay, wow. So next the center of curvature, the two lens a center of curvature is very small and the radius of curvature also small. Okay, the plane mirror also the center of curvature C at the plane mirror la the C. The center of curvature is infinitive. The radius of curvature also infinitive. So we are taking to R equal to infinitive. Okay, wow. The terminology of the spherical mirror also hold good very much for the thin lens except the focal length value. Okay. So next one, primary and secondary focal point. You see that this picture. So I am taking to the one convex lens. Okay. So next you see that I draw to the center of the line, the parallel axis line I draw to that. The center of that point, the center of mirror point P, that's a pole of mirror, right? So the in front, that the pole of mirror in front of I point that F, that is a focus point. This is a focus point. The focus point through that one, the light rays pass through the denser medium. So this is the rarer medium. This is the denser medium. So rarer medium, so the rarer medium, in the rarer medium through the send that one light rays pass through the the light rays reach to that denser medium. So after that what happened? It's a reflected. So going to the straight line. Here you are draw to the one normal lines means it's what happened that what I am telling that 90 degrees, the 90 degrees moving that it's not going to that far away to that from the normals. It's not yet towards to the normal. It's a straight, the boundary, that straight line only going the refract line. So this rays we are called to emerged ray. So the same like only to the downwards they are going to the one light rays. The light reach that mirror, that is a denser medium. So after that reflected it's going to the 90 degree. It's a boundary of that rays. Okay. So this also emergent. So this is the focus of the point, the light ray focus point, this one. Okay. So next you see this. This is the spherical mirror or that mirror. That both side is here. This also you see that that's the left side is coming to the incident rays, the reach of the point, center of the point. After that it's a reflected, they are going to this side, but it is a deviated. The deviated it's a going to the straight line. It's a creating the point F, but it is a deviated of the 90 degrees. It's a deviated of the 90 degrees. So it's a going to the straight line. Okay. So imagine it's going to this. See here only creating the focus point. Okay, so this is the primary focal point. This is you see other one is here secondary focal point. You see that one day the parallel of the two rays coming. First you take the one rays, the one light rays is a travel to reach that lens. Okay, after that's a reflected to going to that point O, that is a focus point. After that is the same like another one ray, the parallel of the second rays that a light rays is a traveling and reach to the lens, center of the lens is a reflected to that the same like that going to the that rays going to the focus point. Okay, this is the focus point, right? Okay, the same like only for that this mirror is coming to that two parallel of the two incident rays coming. After that if reflected, but you see that this is the in the reflected it's a coming back to means it's a creating to here only that focus point. So going to this side. Okay, this is secondary focal point. You see the primary focus F is defined as the point where an object should be placed. to give the parallel emergent ray to the principal axis. You see the parallel emergence ray of the principal axis. That principal axis, here you see that parallel move agudhu, right? Okay, so next, for the convergent lens, search the object is a real object. The convergent rays here இங்கே வந்து real objects produce ஆகும். Next வந்து divergence வந்து இங்கே divergent ஆகிற இந்த divergent raysல is a virtual image, virtual object, அது வந்து virtual image நமக்கு create ஆகும். The distance P(f1) is a primary focal length f1. Okay, the secondary focus f2 is defined as the point where the parallel rays traveling close to the principal axis. You see that parallel axis line. Okay, the two parallel rays traveling close to that axis lines. Okay, it's a convergent to the form of the image of the principal axis. So this is a convergent lens. Such the image is a real image from the divergent lens, a virtual image. The distance P(f2) is a secondary focal length. Okay, sorry, understood. Next one, sign convention. Already you know that point P, the center of the pole of the mirror, the left to right side, left to right side means negative point, right to left side is a positive values you are taking. No, the same like only for that the sign convention for the lens differ, only the sign followed for the focal length. So the focal length, the thin lens is a differ, only the sign convention. The sign of the focal length is not decided on the direction. So that the normal spherical mirror, what we are doing, that it's a the direction is a converted. So here that it's not a decided to the direction of the measurement of the focal length from the pole of the lens. There are two focal lengths, one to the left and another to the right. It's a primary and secondary focal length of the either sides of the lens. Okay, the focal length of the thin lens is taken with the positive for the convergent. This is a convergent means positive value, divergent means negative values, that is. The other sign convention for the object distance, image distance, radius of curvature, object height and image height remaining the same for the thin lens as that the spherical mirror. This is all the same for the spherical mirror. Okay, so next point, next we are discussing about the scattering of sunlight. Okay, when the sunlight enter the atmosphere of the earth, the atmosphere particle present in the atmosphere change the direction of the light. When the sunlight enter the atmosphere of the earth, that times the atmosphere particle already having to the some of the particles in the atmosphere, that atmosphere change the direction of the light and the light rays change pannadhu. So this process is known as a scattering of the light. So this process we are called to the scattering of the light. If the scattering of the light is by the atoms and the molecules which are the size A very less than that the wavelength lambda of the light. So lambda, the size it's a very small lambda, right? Next, this is the scattering is here called ray lights of scattering. Okay, the intensity of the ray lights scattering, the inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wave. The formula is I inversely proportional to the 1/λ4. Okay, so next you see that this, according to the equation, you see that the violet color which has the shortest wavelength, gets a much scattering during the daytime. So the violet color has the shortest wavelength in the scattering during the daytime only. The next scattering color is blue. So violet next is here blue, and as our eyes are more sensitive to the blue color than the violet color or blue color, so very sensitive in our eye. The sky appears blue during the daytime, but during the daytime, but during the sunrise and sunset, that light from the sun travel greater distance through the atmosphere. The sunset and the sunrise the blue color the blue color wavelength is a very long distance. Okay, so it's a very length. So what happened that travels a greater distance through the atmosphere. So hence the blue light which has the shorter wavelength, it is scattered away, and less scatter red light of the longer wavelength manage to the reach our eyes. So that times only, that sunrise and sunset times only we can see the red more places we are see that our eyes occupied to only for red color only. So you see, this is the reason for the reddish appear of the sky during the sunrise and sunset time. Okay. So next, if the light is scattered by the large particle, you see that is scattered by, if the light is scattered by the large particles like the dust and water droplet present in the atmosphere, which have size greater than the wavelength of. So wavelength vida A oda size of the atmosphere, the particle droplets of the water and wave aduடைய size of the A, it's a very high only, greater than only. It is the intensity of the scattering is equal. So aduடைய intensity of the scattering is equal for all the wavelength, all the colors wavelength, all the colors uடைய wavelength is equal only. Intensity of the scattering is equal only. It is happening the cloud which contains a large amount of the dust and water droplets. The cloud having to the large amount of the dust and water droplets. The cloud, all the colors get the equally scatter the irrespective of the wavelength. This is the reason for the whitish the appearance, whitish appears of the cloud as on the, okay, a cloud, the white is appear. So this is the reason for the white is appears of the cloud. But the rainy clouds appear the dark. The rainy clouds appear the dark because of the condensation of the water droplets on the dust particle. So the rain clouds condensation of the water droplets and dust particle more than having. So it's the color is changed. Okay, it is a opaque object. If a earth has a no atmosphere, there is could not have been any scatter and the sky could appear the dark. That is why the appear dark for astronomers who could see the sky from above the atmosphere. This para you are carefully you are read it, coming to the 2 marks. Okay, next one, theories on light. Okay, the light is a form of energy. You know that, you are in the lower class. The light is a form of energy, that is a transfer from one place to another. A glance at the evaluation of the various theories of the light put forward by scientists will give not only the overview of the nature of the light, but also the propagation and the sum of phenomena denominated by it. Okay, so next, corpusculary theory. So Sir Isaac Newton 1672 gave the corpusculary theory of the light, corpuscular theory of light, which was also suggested yearly by the Descartes in 1637 to explain the law of reflection and refraction. According this theory, light is emitted as tiny massless and perfectly elastic particle called the corpuscles. Corpuscles the law of refraction and refraction. According of the theory, the corpuscular theory, according to the theory, the light emit panona tiny, as the emitted the tiny massless, tiny and massless, the perfectly elastic the particle of. Okay, wow. So this is the corpuscles. As the corpuscles are very, very small, the source of the light does not suffer the appreciable loss of the mass, even it's a emit light. Whenever the emit of the light, it's not suffered to that mass for a long time. On account of the high speed, they are unaffected by that force of gravity. It's very high speed, it's coming to the light rays, unaffected by the force of the gravity. Gravity affect that the path is a straight line. It's a medium of the uniform refractive index. So the energy of the light is the kinetic energy of the corpuscle. When this corpuscle impinging on the retina of our eye, the vision is produced. The different size of the calculus is the reason for different colors of the light. When you see that 7 color with GR. Okay. When the corpuscles approach a surface between the two media, there are either the attracted or repelled. Attracted or repelled. That is a medium. One medium to another medium. Rare medium to denser medium. So going to the lighter, rare medium to the denser medium. That is. So this theory could not explain the reason why the speed of the light is lesser in the denser medium. Okay, so next the rare medium to the denser medium than in the rarer medium, the speed of the light, okay, lesser. So it could not explanation. But and also the phenomenon like the interference, diffraction and polarization. Also they define that interference, diffractions and polarization. So next wave theory. The Christian Huygens 1678 proposed the wave theory to explain the propagation of light through a medium, propagation of light through the medium. According to him, light is the disturbance from the source that travel the longitudinal mechanical waves. It's a disturbance that travel to the longitudinal mechanical waves through the either medium that was the produced to pervade all space. The mechanical wave requires medium for its propagation. The wave theory could successfully explain the phenomena of the reflection, refraction, interference and the diffraction of the light. It's successfully explained to that wave theory. Later, that extents of the either the all space was proved to be wrong. So laterly, the extents of the either in the all space was proved to be wrong. And the theory could not explain the propagation of the light through the vacuum. The propagation of the light is through the vacuum. It's not explained. It's a wrong only. The phenomenon of the polarizations could not be explained by this theory, as it's a property only the transfer waves only. Okay. So next one, electromagnetic waves theory. Maxwell proved that a light is on the electromagnetic wave, which is a transfer in the nature carrying the electromagnetic energy. It's a whenever the light traveling, it's a electromagnetic waves only. It's a produce the electromagnetic energy. It could also show that no medium necessary for the propagation of electromagnetic wave. All the phenomenon of the light occur successfully explained by this theory. Okay, so next you see that a quantum theory. Albert Einstein 1905 endorsed views of Max Planck was able to explain the photoelectric effect. Okay, in the which the light interact with the matter as the photon to the eject the electron. The photon eject to the electron. A photon, a discrete packet of the energy. The photon, discrete the packet of the energy. Each photon energy E. So E equivalent to HV. H is a Planck constant. That value is a 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 K by JS. Okay, and V is a frequency of the electromagnetic waves. V is a electromagnetic waves. H is a Planck constant Morley. As the light has a both wave as well the particle nature is said to be under dual nature. Okay, this is conclude that the light propagation as a wave and interact with the matter as a particles. Okay.